Do you feel crowded in your home? Do you ever find yourself squeezing around things just to get by? Well, you just might have too many big things in your home. Sometimes this happens when we buy too much stuff. Sometimes we're given things and we just don't want to say no. And sometimes we just have years of accumulation and we don't even know where to begin. Decluttering these big space takers will have an immediate impact on how your home feels and functions. One area of our home that gets ignored constantly is our patio or our deck or our outdoor spaces, where we tend to accumulate big pieces of furniture or storage areas, and we never think about getting rid of any of it. Things just tend to linger in those areas. And even if we replace something, we think, well, we might need some extra storage out here, or we might need some extra seating areas if we're having a party every once in a while. But I would challenge you to think about this area on an everyday basis. That is a space that could be used to have a peaceful, quiet time. And if it's loaded down with these other big, gigantic items, it doesn't feel quite peaceful. Do you have extra tables out there? Do you have extra seating areas, maybe even benches, where you might even have those big old storage containers on your patio, those patio storage units, and they have old cushions from furniture that you don't even own anymore. So give your patio, your deck, or your outdoor space a second look. I bet you're going to find some big items that you can let go of to create a more serene and peaceful environment that you can use on a day-to-day basis. Hi, I'm Bren. I'm so happy you're here. I share weekly videos on simple and minimalist living, decluttering and organizing, creating a cozy home, and ways to live your best life. If you love these topics as much as I do, please subscribe to my channel. Another thing we really accumulated during the pandemic was exercise equipment. Whether it was a big exercise ball, believe me, those things are pretty big and they take up a lot of space, or a treadmill, which takes up way more space, or a stationary bike. Whatever it is, those things are space takers. And if you're not using them, if you use them for that period of time and you're not using them anymore, maybe it's time to declutter them. One, they cause us to feel bad about ourselves because we're not using them. Two, you might like to go to the gym more, or you might like to take your outdoor walks now, and you're just not using them. And three, if you spent a lot of money on them, every single time you walk by it, you're going to feel guilty for not using it. If you used it back then, but you're not using it anymore, it is okay to let those things go. And if you don't have a green thumb, you might have thought it's a great idea to get fake plants in your home. And some of these are gigantic. Some of them take up quite a lot of room, both visually and in your real footprint of your home. So if you don't love your fake plants anymore, they've become dust collectors, and you just kind of have thought better about that decision to acquire a fake plant or two or 10, maybe you want to discard some of them. Go ahead and declutter some of them. Maybe not all of them. Maybe you bought one and you really loved it, and you loved it so much that you thought, well, this looks good here. I can go ahead and put this one over here and that one over there. And when you do that, it just creates a lot of visual clutter. So if you have fake plants and you discovered you just don't like having them in your home, you can let those go. You don't need to keep them in your home any longer. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you've decluttered any big items and if they made a huge impact on how your home feels and functions. Other big items that you can declutter would be furniture that you replaced, but you never got rid of. And oftentimes I think we stick these in our spare bedrooms, or we put them in the basement, or we put them in our garage, thinking that someday one of our family members just might need that item. I know a lot of us will keep extra couches, will keep extra end tables, even beds. So what I'd like you to do is think about, who are you intending these items to be for at some point? Who are you thinking might use them? Ask those people that you're keeping these items for, hey, do you want this? Would you like this extra bed at some point? I've been holding on to it for you. Or I've been holding this dresser for you, thinking that you might like it someday. Is this something that you're going to want? If you ask these people directly, I bet you their answers might not be what you're thinking they might be. And it just pays to ask them right now, because if they say no, that means that you can go ahead and let that item go. It doesn't need to live in your space anymore. And guess what? When you let that item go, it can be used right now for somebody who needs it. You have a big walk-in closet, unlike my closet. I have to have dressers. But if you have a big walk-in closet and you've decluttered your clothes to the point where there's hardly anything left in your dressers, you might want to consider letting one or two of your dressers go and just consolidating those clothes into what's left, whether it's your walk-in closet or a remaining dresser. Don't feel like you have to keep all of your pieces of furniture just because it matches or because it's always been there. If you have big pieces of furniture like a dresser that stored something but it's no longer storing it now, you can go ahead and declutter those. It's not necessary to keep them. And believe me, when you get rid of that and you reconfigure your space a bit, it is going to feel so refreshing. During the pandemic, a lot of us had to create a spontaneous home office, whether it was out of a table or a desk, and we had to accumulate things like office chairs or file cabinets or extra keyboards or monitors. Now that a lot of us are back in the office, it means that we have all of this stuff lingering in our home office. And if that's you and you're not using those things anymore, it might be time for you to let those go. You might still be working occasionally out of your house, but is that reason enough to have an entire office taking up space in your home? If you do, likely you're just having a laptop. It's a temporary one-day situation. So if that's you and you're really not utilizing your office equipment any longer, you might want to use that space differently. Those things take up so much of a footprint in your home. So if you're not using it, go ahead and declutter those. Now, I love my shelf. I really do. It is fantastic, and I really use it all the time. You can see that my serveware is on here. Because my kitchen is so tiny, I don't really have room for that in my cabinets. So I had to become creative when I bought this house, and this is what I came up with. Now, spatially, this thing really works in my house. I love it. It is kind of like open airy. It doesn't have a lot of bulk, and it's not too wide. It's vertical, so it hits at a really nice height in my ceiling. That said, I had a giant shelf that was for books and magazines and just miscellaneous kind of office things. At one point, I got rid of it, I think about, maybe like 6 or 7 months ago. It took up so much floor space, and it wasn't useful like this shelf is. This one actually serves a purpose. That one was just for basically clutter accumulation, honestly. It had a bunch of books on there that we never were reading. It had so many different things that I put those things into baskets, and then it started looking like a storage unit. So it really wasn't even attractive anymore. It wasn't even a display type thing. It was just sort of open storage, and it didn't look so good. Do you have shelves like this? Do you have a self-standing shelf or wall shelves? Are you really using that space effectively, efficiently, and functionally? Or is it just something that's holding things you don't even need anymore? If it is, you might want to consider parting ways with that or decluttering, at least one or two of those. Your space, both on your walls and your floor, it's going to open it up so much. If you're a pet lover, great. This tip is for you. And if you're not, you can go ahead and fast forward to the next tip. For us, we have 3 pets, 2 cats and a dog, and that can be a great way to accumulate some clutter, believe me. We had a giant bed for our 10-pound dog for years, and we located it in our front room, which it's not a very big space, and it really felt crowded in that room due to this gigantic bed. Even though it was in such a beautiful color and pattern that I really did enjoy, the quality was great on it. It was just something that weighed on me day in and day out every time I would walk by it. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but now in retrospect, I know it did bother me. So one day I was at the pet store and I came across a much smaller bed that was super cute, and it felt like it would be a lot more supportive to my dog as she's aging. The cushion on it was nice and thick, and she does have hip problems, so I thought to myself, I wonder if she could transition into this bed. So I went ahead and bought it, and sure enough, she took to it right away, which allowed me to declutter her bed that was twice the size. So I want to encourage you to take a look at the things that you have for your pets in your home. It could be a giant cat condo that your cats never took to, or it could be a pet bed like my dog's bed that was just always too big for the space. It could be things that are just worn out. Maybe it's a whole basket full of toys that your dog has, liked before but never plays with now. Go ahead and let those go. And maybe if it's too big of an item, get something smaller like I did. You will be amazed at what a difference it makes in your space. Sometimes we forget our measuring tape when we're buying furniture, and we get it home and it is just shocking at how big this stuff is. But we live with it, and it's just not comfortable. Take a look around your home. Do you have any big pieces of furniture that just don't fit your space? It might be time to let those big pieces of furniture go and get something that fits your space better. Or maybe you have one of those chairs that's sort of an occasional chair. It just sits in a corner and you thought you would read a book in it, but you never ever do. That's another piece of furniture that just doesn't fit your space, and it's okay to part ways with that too. Do you remember back in the day where computers were so gigantic? I mean, they were like this, right? Big. And some of us still have those things lingering in our storage areas. They really are not going to ever be used. And I think sometimes we keep these things when we get something new, but we forget that we have them down there. We keep them for a little bit of time and we think, well, what if this one isn't going to work out? I have to have a backup. When you do buy new computer equipment, make sure that you put a note on your calendar and declutter that stuff once you're sure the new stuff is going to work. If you're one of those people that has the old stuff still lingering in your storage area, your basement, your closets, or your garage, I would go to your community website and see if they have any ways to get rid of that kind of equipment. Our community here does it twice a year. And so even if you have something with sensitive information on it, such as a computer, you can get rid of it or discard it that way, and you'll have peace of mind then that your information won't be compromised. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure that you check out my description below. I put a few extra videos in it that I think you'll find helpful and that you'll enjoy. If you're trying to have a more simplified life, make sure that you subscribe to my little channel. I would love it if you do.